Hi, Congresswoman Hayes. My name is Ryan Hawley, and I'm a city councilman over in Danbury. Jahana, as you know, Danbury is an immigrant community. Many of the people I represent are immigrants, including undocumented folks. And they helped elect you. They knocked on doors, made calls, and trusted you to stand with them. Now they're asking why you voted for HR 7511, the Laken Riley Act, which not only expands ICE enforcement, but also increases the risk of wrongful deportations by allowing individuals to be reported and removed based on mere accusations, not convictions. This undermines due process and directly contradicts the protections that we are working to strengthen here in Connecticut with the Trust Act. I need to understand why you supported this bill, but more importantly, with President Trump now in office, immigrant communities are especially vulnerable, locally, statewide, and nationally. How can we trust that you are that partner? My constituents deserve to know.
That bill also came up in the spring of 2024. So before the election, when Laken Riley came up, I voted for it. So this was no bait and switch. This was not, we knocked on doors for you and didn't know where you stood on this bill, because this is the third time it's come up. And while people focus on part of what the bill says, it also says if someone who is undocumented commits a crime resulting in death or injury, death or murder, or injury to law enforcement, on a basic level, while I support immigration reform, dreamers, visas, asylum seekers, if someone is in this country and they commit a murder or a violent offense, we have to be able to have an honest conversation about maybe you just forfeited your right to continue this process.
What about the Proud
And I'm not saying, what about what?
The Proud Boys.
But that was the bill. And as I said, this was no,
It's got shoplifting in it. It's got children.
it's got the whole gamut. But this is what I tried to tell you. Every bill, they're putting bills on the floor every week. You're not going to like everything that is in these bills.
Just say no.
You're not going to like everything that I vote for. And if that is your hard line, then everybody has to conduct themselves accordingly. I have been a willing partner. How can you trust me? Because of what I've done. Because of all the work that I've done. Because of all of the money that I've brought and the protections that I brought to help our immigrant community. But it's not going to be, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm never going to stand up and say, some things are just wrong.
This is Johnny Nguyen, who is from Garden Grove, California. It's great to have you here, Johnny. He is an energy engineer and also a Democrat. What's your question for the congressman?
Hey, Congressman. So with Trump's immigration policy and mass deportations, I'm getting really concerned about legislation like the Laken Riley Act, which begs the question of whether due process exists still in America. So given your background both as an attorney and also the son of immigrants like myself, what made you vote yes on that?
Congresswoman, can I ask you, because you also supported that law, so I'm glad that you want to weigh in, because the question was about due process, and since it's for people who are accused and charged with crimes but not necessarily convicted of them, what do you make of the concerns about due process?
So I understand your concerns, and I understand how immigrants across this country who are here legally and have followed the law are being terrorized right now because they are unsure of what happens next. I voted for that piece of legislation because of a very specific provision, and it was if it caused injury or death to a police officer, which was one small piece of it. There were other things about, to your point, Caitlin, someone who was was charged but hadn't been convicted. As I've thought about it over the last couple months, I probably would have voted differently. It's a vote that I regret, but coming into this Congress, I trusted that this administration, we would have some, if they wanted to have border security, they wanted to work with Democrats, that we could actually move forward. I'm not really sure of that because I've seen the rhetoric that has come out and the attacks that have been targeted towards immigrants. So I'm very cautious and careful when I'm negotiating my votes moving forward.